Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Zachary Dickinson here. Hope it's all been a wonderful week, a wonderful and rest of relaxation and resting on a wonderful Saturday. Coming to you here on a wonderful Saturday evening. If you're watching this on a different day, well, hope it's still a wonderful day for you. So today's video is Stephen King on writing book review. My thoughts on my first ever Stephen King book and everything else involving Stephen King so far. So let's get on into it. Stephen King on writing is a book that, is a book where I got the 25th anniversary edition, celebrating 50 plus years of writing because he started writing in about the 1960s, really. And so celebrating 50 plus years, so it's getting very close to 65 or so years of writing. The 25th anniversary edition, this was made and was a book in the early 2000s. This is a book at its core. It is Stephen King on writing a memoir of the craft. It begins by Stephen King going over most of his life story that's relevant, all of his family troubles, their poor, his family, his childhood growing up, then his college, then his family life, both during all the good and the bad of his life. And then after that, it starts giving all of his advice of how he writes and how he would advise others to write. And his system of writing, while I do love his system that he has, I don't completely agree with it. That is because with his system of writing, he pretty much doesn't do pretty much any research and just writes, which can be good, but I would prefer doing some or a good bit of research for certain things. Now he does explain that what he writes most of the time he doesn't need all that much research and he just writes. But I think pretty much I don't believe it's pretty much said, but I believe he does think that some do need extra research and writing, but he does prefer and pretty much believe in just write and do minimal research, and that's pretty much the best thing. This is easily one of my favorite books of the year. I've only read a couple this year. Um, Overall, this is easily a great and wonderful book. It it is like it is only like two. It's only about 315 pages. Um, Most of the book is him describing his writing and his writing journey and how he writes in his writing advice. Um, this was a little bit hard to find to like track on reading websites just because it's the 25th anniversary edition and it's a special edition, and so it has a few different versions of it than just what is right here. And so we have all the forewords, which I did in fact read, and then after those we have everything else after that, which the CV pretty much tells his entire childhood and life story, in various different parts of what he thinks is relevant, all the different ways he took and developed as a writer from a teens to his early adulthood until he pretty much hit it big, and how he got on towards writing this book in general. This video is actually going to be a bit shorter than I thought, to be honest. He thanks people. He includes contributions and other things like that. Is there a dedication in here? I don't know. What did I say? We have many famous authors praising the book in the beginning. I don't see. Yeah, there isn't a dedication. Overall, I believe I rated this book like 4 point, I believe I rated this like 4.7. Yeah, it's like this book is rated 4.75 out of 5. I don't want to give it 5 stars completely just because this is it's pretty much a 5 star, but with a caveat, I would say 4.75 because it can be a little bit boring really at times throughout the book. But overall, it's not quite a 5 star because I wouldn't really say that this is one of the greatest books of all time. It's a great and fantastic book for what it is, and it's a great and fantastic book, of course, by Stephen King. And it's a wonderful book of wonderful advice, some of which and many of which that I will, in fact, be following. And so, yep, that is pretty much the whole video. One little cute and neat thing is if you look at the picture here, right near my finger right here, a cute little dog is right underneath its desk. I don't know what it is, but I've always found that intriguing, and you can tell exactly the kind of era this book was initially wrote in, and also how he was a writer and how different it is from our times, because you see a old computer, a few older equipments, the fact that he's writing pen and paper, um, which is always a bit weirder. But I'm gonna pretty much end it there. I may or may not have a video for next week for books, but overall, I will see you all tomorrow at a slightly earlier time, probably about 5:30 to 7 range, with a new weekly report. So I thank you all for watching. If you have watched all the way to this point about me rambling, not really having anything actual scripted to say, I thank you. Hope that you're subscribed. If not, check and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Like the video. Comment below if you've read this book or your thoughts on Stephen King. I thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful and fantastic rest of your weekend. And goodbye, and God bless you all.